going on, viewers from the internet? I'm Variety Gamer 95 here with Kirby's Adventure. So Kirby's Adventure was the game that introduced Kirby's copy ability. It was the very second game of the Kirby series that came out for the Nintendo Entertainment System. I know, right? An NES game that actually came out in 1993? Who would have thought? So this is the game's demo. So yes, this game actually introduced a few new moves. The slide, which I'm always saying no Let's Player ever used, or ever uses. You hold up to start flying, and then you can press the A button. I actually have a control set up a little bit differently, because this is the Wii U Virtual Console version after all. So, funny enough, this actually would have been my second Let's Play of a game that's available on Switch Online. But Donkey Kong Country was announced before I produced my first Let's Play that would have been available on Switch Online, Super Mario World. I'm Let's Play Kirby's Adventure because it's nice and short. It's simple enough. Like, Kirby's Adventure basically shows off Kirby's impressive beginnings. Like, see, the graphics may be a lot simpler now in this game, but come Superstar, Kirby would actually have hats with his copy abilities. Here, he just changes from pink to orange, and he gains a weapon for sword, parasol, and hammer. Yes, hammer is one of the original copy abilities, wouldn't you know? There are two copy abilities that appeared here, but have not yet made a reappearance in any form aside from any remakes. So yes, this is a mini-boss. This is Bugsy. Alright, so at the end of this is actually the last of the demonstrations. At the end of this is the Warp Star that will take you to the story of the game. That's it. See you in the game world. One day, the peaceful life of Dreamland was shattered by a mysterious crisis. The inhabitants didn't dream. On the edge of Dreamland, dreams and hope once gushed forth from the Dream Spring, fueled by the Star Rod. Investigating the Dream Spring, Kirby found naughty King Dedede swimming in its magical waters. Looks a lot more penguin-like there, doesn't he? Dedede had broken the Star Rod and given the pieces to his friends, who were now hiding in Dreamland. To bring back the lost dreams, Kirby sought the Star Rod. So what, he's running away from home to do this? Alright, that's the demonstration of Kirby's Adventure. Let's go ahead and get into the game. Just to clarify, let me show you guys how I have the controls for my game set up. So I have A be the select button, B for jump, X for, okay, Y for B, and I believe that's it. I still have the Virtual Console menu mapped to ZR. If you're wondering why I have A mapped to select, it's because it's what I'm familiar with from the 3D Classics version of the game on the 3DS. Alright, let's go ahead and start a new file. These videos will be covering one world per video. So this is level 1, Vegetable Valley. This demonstrates that Kirby can feel the Blade Knight's power. Right? So let me just go over Kirby's basic moveset. We can jump. If you hold up and then you can tap the button, or hold the button rather, you can fly. If you press the B button while flying, Kirby will puff out an air bullet. This air bullet is actually used as an attack, but it's ineffective against mini-bosses and bosses. Another basic Kirby technique that I never see a Let's Player use, and it's very helpful for taking down enemies, especially in this game. Press down A, you can slide. In this game, the slide goes through enemies, so it's actually pretty tricky to use. You can also slide by pressing down and B. If you double tap left or right, you can dash. And that just about sums it up. Right, so this Waddle Doo here is the first enemy that you come across. Inhale the enemy and tap down to take its power. This is Beam. Let's see here. Kirby fires a beam like that, hold on, okay. Let me get my bearing straight. Kirby fires a beam like that used by some enemies. This is an easy weapon to use. Has pretty decent range. In later games, Beam would actually be quite a bit weaker. Ugh. Hitboxes are a little off. All it takes is one hit for a copy ability to be knocked out of Kirby. Okay, so let me see. This is Spark. Spark Kirby. Kirby can create fireworks like sparks from his body. This is a great defense. This power is actually pretty similar to two others that we'll be seeing later, Needle and Freeze. This is Fire. Kirby basically breathes fire. Kirby can breathe fire. Enemies beware or you're gonna get burned. Right? Even though it really doesn't do anything special in this particular game. There's actually a pretty infamous glitch that you can do if you like clip yourself in the corner here and go into the water. It's somewhere over here. There's actually a secret down here. Let's see here if I can get it. Gotta be careful though. This is a rather rare copy ability. This is UFO Kirby. Yep, UFO was one of the original copy abilities, wouldn't you know. UFO. Hold down the B button to charge and then let go. You can attack 4 different ways. Tap it, hold it for a second, hold it for a little bit longer, hold it for the longest time, and there you go. Those are the 4 ways UFO can attack. Kirby can basically float indefinitely or free to control his movement. He's actually shown visibly turning in this version compared to Nightmare in Dreamland, this game's remake. If you're wondering why I'm playing the... Oh, it's here that you can do the glitch. If you're wondering why I'm playing the original Kirby's Adventure instead of Nightmare in Dreamland, it's because I feel like I'm better at classic Kirby than modern Kirby. It's what I'm more familiar with. There is one downside to UFO, however. So here, we're going to be taken to the goal game. Alright? When it gets to the lowest point, press the A button and you just might make it to the top. Keyword being might. So what I was thinking about UFO is... you will actually lose it upon entering the level, or exiting the level. UFO can only be used in the level that you found it in. So there's a glitch that you can use to keep UFO, but I'll be going over that later. Alright, so this is 1-2. Right? The air bowl is useful for taking out cappies, because they usually take 2 inhales to fully swallow up. Alright, Sir Kibble. This is Cutter Kirby. Kirby can throw a series of cutters that return like boomerangs. Right? Just like so. You can hop over it. You can do crazy stuff like this. Alright. So there's something quite interesting about this level here. You're supposed to hop on the warp star to... I did not mean to do that. To move on, but if you can make it vanish... Hold on a sec. Let's see if I can actually get this. No. It's been a while since I've done this, so I'm wondering if I can actually get it. Because you're if you want to see a secret, you're supposed to get the warp star to vanish. Doing a great job making the Shotzo vanish, though. Okay, come on. How many tries is this gonna take? Or maybe you're supposed to go all the way to the corner first. Right, there's actually a secret that I can show you if I can actually get it right, that is. Let's go all the way to the corner. Make the warp star vanish. Got it, yes, okay. You're supposed to go all the way to the corner, then make the warp star vanish. Because normally, this invisible wall stops you here, but if you can do this, you can see the Howl Room. This is the first of many instances of Howl Rooms appearing in the Kirby series in the shape of star blocks. The star blocks are used to block Kirby's way, but you can inhale them, use them as a projectile. Alright, let's hop on the warp star and see where it takes us. Alright, so let's see here. There's a mini-boss up ahead. You can actually do this. So this is Poppy Brothers Sr. He's back from, I missed it. Good job, Joseph. You're a super genius. So the bomb ability is actually not in this game. That wouldn't be introduced until Superstar. Yeah, that would did him in too if I actually managed to hit him with a double star. So what's he gonna... As I was trying to say, bomb is not in this game. Yeah, that's what I was expecting you to do, you little punk. So what power is he actually going to give us? He's going to give us a limited use copy ability. This is Crash. This power will defeat all enemies on the screen, but you can use it only once. As you can see with the little star icon on the corner there. Right, so Crash has a different animation in this game. It looks like this. Supposedly that animation was changed from later Kirby games because it was seizure inducing, I guess. Okay, so underwater controls. Okay, so oh yeah, normal. Hit the down arrow when Kirby has an enemy in his mouth to copy the enemy's special ability. Yep, normal has a description. So underwater controls. Most copy abilities cannot be used underwater. The exceptions are hammer, sword, parasol, and UFO. So if you press the B button, Kirby will squirt out a water gun. The water gun is used to defeat enemies underwater, of course. Alright. Nice shot. Right, so let's go ahead and do this. That's a Maxim Tomato, or as I like to call it, an M Tomato. It fully recovers Kirby's health. I should mention that your life count is not saved in this game. Only Dreamland 2, Tilt and Tumble, the Rainbow Curse, and Star Allies do that. So there's actually a secret here. I think it's here? Yes. It's a 1-up. That's what the 1-up looks like. Alright. Let's go ahead and show off the sword copy ability. So sword has two moves, a basic slash and an overhead swing. Sword. Use the sword to defeat enemies. If you attack in midair, Kirby will spin and slash. Go through the door. Alright. That was number 3. If you hit number 7, the Kirby that flipped the message board will just say press A. Alright, so if you go through one of these doors, you can play a minigame. Crane Fever. Use the buttons the crane and try to get a Kirby. A big one's hard to get, but worth it. There are 3 different difficulties. This is level 1. So, like the game says, you're supposed to hold A, and when it's hovering over the Kirby that you want to get, release it. This crane game is kind of BS, though. I got a small Kirby, but the big Kirby, if you can get it, is 2 extra lives. The small one's worth only 1. And I can tell already I did not get it. Oh, I did! Wow. I was gonna make a joke and say, just like a real-life crane game, but no. I actually got it. So that's 3 extra lives. Alright, 3 extra lives. You cannot enter the door again until you restart the file. Alright? So I think Crash can be found here as well. There is a regular enemy that gives Crash. Its name is Bomber. You can run over 1 block wide gaps like so. Let me see here. There's a Kaboo, the little Tiki-like enemy. Alright, so this flavor here gives the Fireball copy ability. Kirby can turn into a flying fireball, jump and attack in a flash of fire. Right? That's basically what Fireball does. It's a bit of a delay between the move ending though. So you gotta watch it. Alright, let's get rid of it. Go through the door. Alright. You can't spit a star into water, but it won't do you any good. If you can time it right though, you may be able to hit an underwater enemy with it. Funny how Poppy Brothers Jr. actually appeared in the game before the bomb ability was introduced. I did not want to grab you, I thought you were a garbage enemy. Yes, that's right, I swallowed the garbage enemies. Like so. Although I don't do it as often in modern Kirby than classic Kirby. Alright. Okay, luckily he did not nail me somehow. I think they may have actually gotten me the 1. No, it did not. That's actually pretty tough to time. If you're wondering what happens if you get a 1, a UFO Kirby will appear, the full victory dance will play, and all you'll get is a 1-up. So this is a museum. Here is a colorful display of enemies with special abilities. Eat the one you want. So yes, all you have to do is inhale the enemy. This is basically the precursor to the copy essences that would appear in later Kirby games. Except Kirby actually has to inhale the enemy to get the ability. Thankfully, they can't hurt us if we touch it. Okay, so we can climb up the ladder. It's actually pretty tough to do. So this is Mr. Frosty. Mr. Frosty is the source of the freeze ability. One of the sources. A regular enemy named Chili will get freeze as well. So this is freeze. It's basically Spark, but you can freeze enemies. Kirby can create a shield to freeze enemies. He can then knock away the frozen blocks. Freeze is less common than Ice, which is basically the ice equivalent of fire, but Freeze appeared first in the Kirby series. Freeze would actually appear in spin-offs like Dream Course and Canvas Curse. Canvas Curse is actually the last appearance of Freeze. Come on. Thing is, that star flies away ridiculously fast, so you really gotta be on the ball if you want to get your ability back. Right? So I believe, yeah, we can get Needle here as well. Ah, come on. The thing is, if you swallow an ability star at an enemy at the same time, you'll usually get the ability star first. This is Needle Kirby. Lots of needles, just like a porcupine's come out of Kirby. It's a great defense. Unfortunately, it's not infinite. You can't infinitely hold it, like you can in later games. You do stuff like this. Right, let's go ahead and go through. So, I believe, yes, we are coming across the invincibility candy. This mysterious face will throw us an invincibility candy. In Nightmare and Dreamland, the invincibility candy will just be sitting there. You can go through the Shotzos and get this one up. In this game, you will always dash with the invincibility candy, even if you don't try to. Alright, I actually got to show that off. This is what happens when you get one in the gold game. There's actually a little secret with that, however. If you actually manage to land on the numbers in order from 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1, you'll get 30 extra lives. That would later make it come back in Kirby Triple Deluxe. So with that, we've opened the boss of World 1, and we also opened this. That's a Warp Star Station that we can't use because we don't have another level unlocked. We will in a little bit, though. If you want, you can go back and grab any copy ability that you want. You can actually go back and grab a copy ability and then leave the level by pressing start and then choosing exit stage, just like so. You can only do this in a level that you've already cleared, of course. Alright, so the first boss of the game, well, as you might expect, Wispy Woods. So the thing about attacking enemies with copy abilities, it's normally a little bit slower. But if you can use the Star Bullet, you'll deal a lot more damage. Just like so. And there we go. And with that, World 1 is cleared. Alright, so with World 1 done, we're moving on to World 2, or Level 2, Ice Cream Island. Alright, and that's it. We'll be saving it for next time. You cannot refight bosses, you'll just be able to transport from world to world. Alright, so with that, I'll see you guys next time for Level 2, Ice Cream Island.